Greetings, everybody, and welcome to episode 61 of the Sickcast, aka the Siblings in Cardboard podcast. I'm your host, Donnie, joined by my best buddies in the whole wide world, Noah, Thomas, and Justin. Whether you're a veteran card gamer or a first-timer just testing the waters, we are all Siblings in Cardboard. Gentlemen, how was your Thanksgiving?
Good.
It was great.
Wow.
Hung out with family, good time. Can't complain.
All of Thomas's Christmas decorations are finally appropriate.
They were appropriate before then.
They were.
I'm
They
sorry.
still were. Turn the
What?
tree on. Get the flare.
Like the thing
Oh,
is you could kind of have them both up at the same time. The Thanksgiving and the Christmas don't clash too badly. Just depends on how you theme your house.
Mm-hmm.
And then all you
At
have
least
to
you
do
didn't
is
have them up before Thanksgiving.
Oh yeah. It's like October 31st. November 1st is free game for Christmas decorations after that.
No, our family is, I'm on pretty hard Friday after Thanksgiving. That's when the Christmas decorations go up.
We used to be pretty traditional like that as well. Like right
Yeah.
after Thanksgiving, then we break out it was kind of like the segue. You know, you get to do it a little early, but not too early.
Yeah.
I'm all about bah humbug. I'm debating seriously about whether or not I even want to bother putting up my tree this year. I've got an elf on the shelf that I still have hidden that has not come out of my sock drawer yet to start that Christmas tradition over again. I mean, my kids stopped believing in Santa a couple of years ago, so they don't necessarily care, but I haven't really tested it out yet. I haven't asked them. I haven't checked with them to see if they want the elf again this year or not.
My family's rationale is they spent a lot of money on all this stuff, so why would they only want to put it out for 1 month?
That's fair. That's a good way
That's
to look at it.
That is a good rationale.
It's like January 3rd, the stuff starts like coming down in a big way. Like
Oh, no, you can leave it up
we
as
get
long
rid
as
of
you
it
want.
fast.
No, okay, so my wife's parents from the Philippines, and they'll start doing Christmas stuff in like September, just because why not? And then they'll leave it up till like February. It's like half the year.
Let's keep the Christmas going for almost half the year.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
like
it's
it.
great.
Well,
Yeah.
one of the reasons why I'm leaning away from putting up my tree is because we have a Halloween-themed Christmas tree. Like, our Christmas tree is black. We have Nightmare Before Christmas decorations, spiders, spider webs, and all this other kind of really freaking cool stuff on there. And we, at one point, said that our tree was going to be year-round. We were going to leave our tree up year-round and decorate it for every holiday and just never take it down. And it just ended up staying Halloween-themed the entire year-round for like 3 years. And I'm worried that if I put it back up, I just managed to get it down last March. I finally took it down last March. So if I put it up again, I may end up with it just as a permanent fixture in my living room. And I'm not sure I'm ready to. I don't know if I can emotionally handle
That's
that
fine.
anymore. I got tired of looking at that tree.
That's fine.
So speaking of Christmas themed, we also just had a brand new Christmas-y kind of hero come out in Flesh and Blood. I mean, Jarl is
Indeed.
kind of Christmas themed, right?
Yeah, you have a tree and you
Ice
put
and
snow on
snow
it. That's
and-
earth and ice.
Right.
Just throw a
Alright.
Santa hat on him and
He looks
he's
That
ready
has
to
looks
go.
like he's the Christmas spirit.
Has
Yeah,
There
you're
anyone,
has
all-
to be a meme of that out there somewhere.
has
Yes.
anyone played with Jarl in the Flesh and Blood already?
I have my Jarl deck. I have it sleeved up. I have it ready to go, but its debut will be maybe tomorrow.
Cool.
So, hypothetically.
Maybe tomorrow.
Quite possibly, maybe hypothetically tomorrow.
Possibly could. I wonder if
Yeah.
they'll have any over there. I mean, shout out to Level Up Games. I wonder if they've actually moved the product over to the Johns Creek location yet. Or not.
They definitely have had them at our Duluth location. There was a ton of
Yeah.
decks there. I didn't pick one up on Friday, but they were there.
Yeah.
Mm.
Pick those
Definitely
up,
wanna
pick
pick
my
up that
Terra
deck.
decks up. Because you run a lot of cards out of the Terra deck, which is a thing.
Yeah, didn't pick up strike deck, so it's probably gonna be a slow project for me. I may wait to get into the Jarl stuff until month after next when everything starts to
Yeah.
calm down a little bit, because yeah, it turns out he's kind of good.
Why is the market going crazy for him or something?
Has been since he was announced.
I have half a first strike deck if you buy one. I can give to you, so you don't have to buy two of them.
Yeah.
Fair enough. But before we get into that, let's talk about that market stuff and see where things have been going crazy or not been going crazy.
It's a good time. I took a break from the market, and I did inventory. And then I put everything back up. So some things are up, some things are down, some things are all around. But
Alright,
Are we
Dr.
getting into
Seuss.
the? I was about to
Yeah.
say, are we getting into Noah's Dr. Seuss era? What are we doing here, man?
don't worry about it. I just like rhyme words.
One fish, two fish, red pitch, blue pitch. Like,
Absolutely.
Hey, okay.
Let's just throw it out. Let me just like price check some cards to make sure everybody's aware of where things are currently at. I checked the tunics just to make sure I wasn't going crazy. Welcome to Wraith tunics are about 160. The reason that's so up there is because I think there's 3 for about the 160, 170 range, and they go up to 200. Tunic could be back to 200, which I think is crazy if you think about the amount of reprints. Now that is the foil one. You got to understand that's the foil one. Maybe some people really want to spend their money on the foil bling. All the other ones are still adequately 130, 140 range. So you've got options unless you really want that foil one. But they will continue to grow. And here's why. Welcome to Wraith Unlimited is not an unlimited product. Let's just put it that way. It's the unlimited is in the name. The actual limit is not there. So you do understand that Spinal Crush is now a $6 card and a $30 rainbow foil in Unlimited for a reason, because Unlimited cards from Welcome to Wraith and Arcane Rising will become increasingly hard to find. The more players that come in, the more boxes that people are going to want to buy. If they're like me, they start with the first set. Like it's going to get harder and harder to find those older sets. So think about that when you're picking up your next sets. That Everfest is hot, but those older sets, unless they ban those cards, those Fate for Seeds are $2 to $3 commons coming up soon, and so are those Sinks. So always keep that in mind.
Tunic is probably sorry, but Tunic is probably just seeing a surge in popularity right now too. Like
it is. I just there's new decks, there's new players, there's new everything.
Enigma runs it, New runs it, Azalea runs it, Jarl runs it. So like you've got a lot of decks that are like pretty meta relevant that are all running Tunic.
It's probably one of the first armor pieces that I would ever consider buying that like in the crowns. It's just they're universal. They are a universal piece of equipment you will use in so many decks. And so you feel good about buying this.
Tunic and Cop are like the 2 cards I'm like, right, I can at least think about putting that in every deck.
Right. Does Aurora run it? Aurora runs it too.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah,
Aurora loves that card. That's like
Acilio runs it sometimes.
No, I think most of the Acilios, besides Mark, have just gone to Tunic.
Yeah, it feels like a hero really needs a specific reason to not run Tunic, to not run Tunic.
Right.
Yeah.
Like just about all of them benefit from it in some way.
Right.
Until there's that hero that wants that redback shroud.
You either need it to be part of your flavor or like offer 3 total block instead of just 1 and still give you similar value, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Just run through a couple more prices, more meta defined things. So CNC is actually $100 right now for the Arcane Risings.
We're back.
I think at one point I told you guys that I wouldn't be surprised if CNC just continued to climb because it's always been going up. It's been 85, 90. It's been around there, but I feel like it was just waiting. So yeah, it's going above 100.
LSS, we're going back to full core. Okay.
Yep.
I didn't want to go there, but you did, and so we're there. All right.
100% CNC again.
Yeah, and hey, CNC reprint would be on flavor. Just saying. Think about it.
Yeah, just not another Marvel.
I doubt it.
No. Just
Not
like
another. Just let it be a regular reprint. But I actually really doubt it. I don't think they're gonna reprint CNC. They'll ban it before they reprint it. I think at this rate. Warmonger's Diplomacy is $90 a card. Surprise! Should have seen it coming. It continues to get better and better, and there's probably 3 decks that are going to want to play that. Like I don't think any of the new ninjas care about being under war. For the most part. Well, the Warrior. We'll talk about the Warrior, but
Warrior's
I still don't think the Warrior.
They may or may
I still
not.
don't think the Warrior cares if it builds correctly. But pretty much the only cards. Codex Frailty is 80. I just wanted to check on those. And Bastion of Eisenloft is 85 for the cold foil. So congratulations if you waited this long. It will probably hit $100 if Jarl is relevant, just so everybody's aware. You can only get it in cold foil It comes out of this really cool pack called Everfest, and all the cards in Everfest have gone through the roof. Wild.
Very fast.
Wild. Who could have predicted it? But let's get into the actual cards. Some of these are really weird. Some of these might not be weird. Some of these you guys might already know have went up. One of them is Stab Wound. I think we've talked about this before, but I actually just think that every time I see this card go closer to $10 a card, it makes me wonder what I was doing. But Stab Wound is about $9. It realistically is about $10. I mean, with shipping in terms of a non-lightly played card. It's from Outsiders. It's a blue. It blocks 3. It pitches for 3. It costs 0, and it says when this hits a hero, they lose X life, where X is the number of times a dagger has hit this combat chain. A lot of double attacking, dual wielding dagger, multiple hit decks coming into the format. So
Syndra's gonna love it.
not surprised.
Maybe like
Isn't it just worse than Salt the Wind?
yeah,
It's like
that's
Salt the
kind of my
Wound
thought.
4, 5, 6.
It's
I know-
interactive Salt the Wound, which is not where I want to be.
Yeah,
But-
it's interactive, meaning you block all the extra damage.
We'll have to see where Syndra and Fang have on hits elsewhere, because if they do have on hits elsewhere and like can push them over by 1, then Stab Wound looks crazy, because then you roll your eyes when they Stab Wound you at the end. You're just like, oh god, I got to deal with this too.
Don't the daggers need to hit too? Did I mishear that?
Yeah, no, so like, say like a
Yeah.
dagger comes in for 1, but they put an on hit on it. You put 3 in front of it. They pump it to 4, and now like you're doing that gameplay loop.
I mean,
Right,
Flick Knives counts too, right? Because Flick Knives says dagger has hit then, right?
Yes,
Yes.
Slick Knives would count.
Yeah, and Syndra can recur them all day long. So yeah, that might be actually relevant.
Yeah, possibly. I know that.
Yeah.
I think
It would be a good blue.
Ira was playing this for a little bit, and then I'm pretty sure this card's not in her deck anymore.
Yeah. I mean, like it'll be good. Don't get me wrong, but
Ira can't afford to run that.
It's missing
That
an
card
important
more.
word.
Yes,
It doesn't
the
have
word
combo on it, so it doesn't
it's
work with
missing the
Flick
word
Black.
combo. But she also can only swing twice with those daggers, where these other, well, I guess there's cards now that can let you multiply hit with daggers, but I just don't feel like Ira's Toolkit wants to be doing that, more so with eking out value. Now, this next card is definitely related to the new meta, because it's the only thing I can think of, unless everybody and their mother just decided they wanted to play Bolton combo. And that's Oath of Steel. It's now a $5 Majestic. Oh, that's right. Who would have ever thought we'd talk about Oath of Steel? I've been looking at this card for a long time.
You degenerates.
But Oath of Steel is a warrior card that says whenever you attack with a weapon, notice it just says weapon this turn, put a +1 counter on it. At the beginning of your end phase, remove all +1 counters for weapons you control, go again. The warrior uses daggers, and he will multiply hit with those daggers. Quicksilver Dagger was on there as a 1 to get go again when you give your main hand, and then you can attack with it. So I've seen some things. I've heard some things. Oath of Steel being in that deck's not necessarily
I think this is like heavy speculation, right? Because think about it. You need to swing with your daggers like 2 times each for Oath of Steel to just
and you
like
can.
really get value.
And you can.
Did Kasai ever do anything? Because I don't remember, like Blood on Her Hands, Oath of Steel.
No.
No, it never got.
Bolton's the only one who's ever played it.
Right, Warrior outside of combo Bolton never attacks enough times in a row for it to really matter.
Well, that's why I was thinking about like Blood on Her Hands.
Yeah, the
But-
math just didn't add up with Blood on Her Hands, like to make it worth
Yeah.
having a red
Okay.
that extra red card.
It's
Because you have to
too
draw
much.
a card and do the thing.
Right.
And okay, yeah, it was just it was one
It's-
hit too many. Okay.
It's just too much to ask for, and Dory will never use the card, so it's really Bolton or this dagger. Like Dory doesn't care enough about that. Won't get
Yeah,
enough value.
Bolton.
It's just Bolton or the new warrior. But definitely some speculation. It is above $5 now if you want a non-lightly played. I thought that was really interesting because that card has been completely unplayable outside of combo. Double Strike is another card that has gone up. I don't think anybody should be confused about this one. It not through the roof. It is a $5 Majestic and Soaring, which I think is pretty good considering it's always usually $1 or $2, but it's definitely getting more looks. Only thing that really holds it back is it's a 2-block, but it is still a pretty good card. It's a red, pitches for 1, blocks for 2, costs 0. When double strikes chain link resolves, banish it. You may play it this combat chain. If you do, it loses this ability. So it's a recurring damage. I think it turns on Shuko.
Yeah, it's a
It
head
gets you
jab.
go
if have
wider.
Shuko.
Yeah, like it adds to the chain. It can proc mask. It's annoying to block. Nobody wants to invest cards to blocking it. It can be draconic if played correctly in Fi. It works out well.
I
a
think
good
the appeal
Attack
of
action,
having
okay.
one card that could potentially turn into 2 draconic attacks might be why people are speculating, even though it might be challenging to make that really work consistently.
Yeah. I don't know. It's a card that I feel like if anybody wants to play Mask of Momentum, they're at least going to look at Double Strike. But I don't know. It's a card. We've seen it. We know how it works.
I think Syndra is going to be a Mask of Momentum deck.
If you ask Jeremy or any other boomer who played Mask of Momentum 5, they want it to be so badly.
I mean,
But
on
I
paper,
don't
Mask
know.
of Momentum is one of the most powerful headpieces in Flesh and Blood. It's just it doesn't really always.
Yeah.
That's not really always realized because you almost kind of need to threaten the mask twice every turn to really get mask's value.
Yeah. And my thing is, they already made a Draconic chess piece. They're reprinting Valiant Dynamo for the Japanese group. So
Are they
like,
really?
yeah, so that's like the Japanese reprint card. Because like how Grasp was for Rosetta, that's now this time it's Valiant Dynamo. Shuko is already a crazy arm piece for, and Warrior already has like a billion arm pieces as well.
Mm-hmm.
So my speculation is that the new Draconic piece is going to be in the head slot. So I'm like, that's already
Traverse.
where you're competing.
Traverse for Draconics.
God, no.
If they call it like Ride the Dragon Head or something, I'm going to laugh so hard.
Traverse the universe, ride the dragon head. You just go
Yeah.
get a Blood of the Drakai out of your deck.
No,
There you go.
that'd
Now
be
the card's
mental.
playable.
No, that would be
That
mental.
card's always been playable.
That would be
it will
mental. Please don't do that,
Also
LSS.
make
You've already
guillotine.
printed this set, but please don't do that.
Yeah. Go get Blood of the Drakai, make a fealty token. But it'll block for
Okay,
one.
now that's way too much.
Yeah, no thank you.
I think
I mean, if
blocking
we're
with a
going
headpiece.
traverse levels,
I feel like blocking with something and getting a fealty token is already really powerful. Yeah.
I think so with
Yeah.
the new fealty tokens.
Yeah. Oh yeah, the new heroes were spoiled since the last time we talked.
Oh, did that actually? It's been so.
That was
2
at the
weeks
call-in.
feels
Yeah, that was
like
at
a
call-in
long
portal.
time. Yeah,
Wow,
we'll
it
talk
really
about them in
does.
just a moment.
Yeah, we'll talk
then.
about them.
Yeah,
yeah,
I'll speed
okay.
through it. Cards to check out on the rise. Plague Hive is $70. Purely speculation. That's right. Plague
No,
Hive.
that is. There was a content creator that made an Azuri deck where they're playing Plague Hive. It's like a fatigue CYB Azuri deck, and it is trying to mill people out, and that is part of its win con, is to give you blood rots multiple times.
A
I
1
like
in
that.
3 chance to give you the extra
Hey.
blood rot.
That or the
other
inertia
two
token,
are-
both are very tilting.
I was
So it's
gonna
like
say
you
the
got
other
two-thirds,
two are
like,
pretty good
choices.
too. Like
Yeah, the only one
may
you're
have
sad
to
about
pick
is
up a Plague
frailty.
Hive.
Dynamo is starting to go up just because we have a new dual wielder, but it's
Yep.
getting a reprint. Already Dead has another obligatory price increase because there's an assassin coming out. Happens all the time. So Already Dead's back
Okay.
up to $40 and shooting up on the rainbow foils again. So every time a new assassin gets announced, you can just ask yourself, do I have Already Dead? I don't. Well, just wait to buy it because every time
It's
anything
one
with
of
the
the
word
lowest
assassin
impact
comes out,
cards too. It's just that
Already
it's a
Dead just
popper.
goes up.
But right now it does nothing. There's
Yeah.
literally nothing in the meta.
But the art looks cool and you're already dead.
It really does. But
I mean, it could destroy some critical game pieces. It's like Jarl, for example, if he tries to cover something with gloves and you flip in Already Dead and pump it, you just blow his gloves up and now he can never dominate a Mangle.
Oh no. Anyways. So,
Last card, and a good segue, Imposing Visage. We're going to talk a little bit more about why this card is annoying. But Imposing Visage has gone up quite a bit, actually. It is a $10 normal Majestic, and it is a $20
Card
Rainbow Foil. And it's going to be a good card for a long time, at least while
that
Jarl
is
is
a
good.
windmill slam 3 of as long as Jarl is a hero.
That is correct.
remind me what that does. What does imposing
Sure.
visage do, Noah?
What does it do?
It's a blue block 3. Wow, that's really cool. X3 for the cost, meaning it's an X cost after the initial 3 it costs to play. Search your deck for an aura with cost X or less, put it to the arena, and then shuffle. Now that's really crazy because I feel like there's a lot of like weird Guardian auras, but nobody's ever really cared about Imposing Visage. And now all of a sudden, everybody's just like, wow, I want that card. I wonder why.
The
Really
ice
interesting.
auras are
It's
insane.
more that no one cared about Guardian because, like, I've definitely seen Opposing Visage get showtime when
Yeah,
Bravo was
well,
playing.
it's also-
so Jarl can flash CLF. Let's be real. We all know why it's here.
Not Flash. He has to use the start
flashing
of
it
his
in.
turn, and he has to
Good
pitch
enough.
2 into it.
Good
No.
enough.
3 cards to put out CLF actually isn't good. Usually when
When
someone
you
spends
put
3
it
cards
out
to put out CLF,
Yeah.
I'm
on a
like, you got it,
pivotal
brother.
turn,
You know
and
what's
when you-
annoying?
What?
Is CLF for Hypo, the one of Hypo that they get to play against Aurora, Arsenal the good card, and then you just look at your hand and you're like, I did not draw Ravenous Rebel this turn, and I'm in trouble.
but CLF sucks, especially when you have 6 of them in your deck.
Yeah.
You can always find it.
I mean, just don't
And
play
it lasts for
greedy
2
red
turns.
line decks. Like,
Whoa!
forgot about
Nobody's
hypothermia.
playing a fully greedy red line deck, but like Azalea can't
Not that
afford to
different.
have 9 blues. Let's be real.
Celia's a greedy red line deck. Like, extremely greedy.
We'll talk about Jarl. Do we want to just talk about Jarl?
Yeah, we can
Let's
talk about
Jarl.
Jarl.
Let's talk about Jarl.
Jarl.
All right.
All right.
Jarl.
We'll get to the fire people next, but we're going to
Well,
talk
ice
about
and
the
then
ice
fire.
boy
Yeah.
first. Okay, he's finally out. I think impressions were a little bit mid going in, but he's already put up results, right?
Yeah.
So if you talk to like, I don't know what the word pro player, competitive gamers, whatever the hell you want to call people who spend way too much time playing this game and all that kind of stuff, all of them are just so dooming about Jarl, and I am one of them as well, that like right now he just feels miserable to play. You don't have a way to beat Enigma, even with the like Florian tech, if where you're doing like Summer's Fall, Plume of Evergrowth stuff, like
Yeah, it just doesn't work. You don't have the end
Yeah.
game that you do with the rune chance.
yeah, you don't have an end game. You don't have enough extenders to like actually deal the damage that you need to do, all that kind of stuff. So like Enigma is just like an actual nightmare. New, you can beat, but you have to commit your whole entire deck to beating New, and then you have just committed your whole entire deck to beating New, and there's like 30 something other heroes in the field. So you can make all of your blues terrible for New to play. Good. And yeah, but you committed your deck to doing that. And then there's Zen, and he plays a bunch of blues, and he's an aggro deck, so he's able to deal with your frostbite taxes and things like that. So once the issue with him right now in terms of viability is that MST exists, but he's super cool. He's super flavorful. He has a bunch of ways to be built. All of them are solid. And like, if you told me I'm playing super aggro Jarl, I'd be like, okay, yeah, that makes sense. I'm playing Earth Jarl. Yeah, sure, that makes sense too. I'm playing pure Ice Jarl. Okay, cool, that makes sense. I'm playing a Blessed Jarl deck and I'm fatiguing people. That also makes sense. And all of them are awesome. Like, they're all good decks.
Okay, I take issue with the Blessed Jarl deck because it is completely off flavor for the hero. Not a
Is
fan.
it?
Yes.
So, no,
He's
it's
a
on.
mangle guy. He wants to beat people up, break their stuff, and then give them frostbites.
But he's also made of ice.
But no.
Ice
Yeah,
is
like-
resilient. Yeah.
So how the deck works, that deck's kind of funny because you just like block with Stalagmite stupid early. You just treat it as like 3 extra health. And then you just pick people. You just throw the summit at people over and over and over and over again. And then you get blessed. And that's it. He's a good deck.
And
Yeah,
the Outlast
so-
strategy is actually pretty viable for Guardian and Ice, right?
Yeah, like you just play CLFs when you need to get space to play your blessings, and you can do all that kind of stuff.
You tax with Winter Bite. Feels good.
CYB is a good way to keep your CLF around.
That is true.
Yeah, it makes it really easy to pitch multiple ice cards in a turn.
Yep. But I don't know. He's super, super fun. I think all the weapons for him are kind of mid. Like the pick is okay. Sledge is okay. Titan's Fist is okay. The Earth Hammer from the Terra deck is okay. Like, they're all just playable. There's none of them that I'm like, wow, I really need this weapon in my life. Please windmill slam it in all of my Jarl decks ever.
I mean, you have to play Sledge though. Sledge has to be in your deck.
For the mirror, yeah, you're at least playing that one.
Yeah,
But I'm
because
not
if you
like,
sit down across from another Jarl and they have Sledge, you just auto lose if you don't have Sledge.
you can get there, but it's not fun. You have to be blessed, and they don't. But that's like that's a game that we're playing at that point.
Also, Sledge Count Your Blessings seems to pitch
Oh,
very
yeah, no,
cleanly too.
you can absolutely do that. It's great. But yeah, I don't know. Like there was a Jarl that top aided this past weekend at a Battle Harden, and it was a 6 pummel Jarl. And
As it should be.
hell yeah, brother, that's my kind of Jarl deck right there. Like I'm all about it. But he's super. He has some super obnoxious things. He does the like aggro old him better than aggro old him did, and like has a play style that I really, really, really like, and I'm excited to play him a lot.
So has everybody settled on a headpiece yet? Is
Ha!
it just,
No,
like-
that's the other fun part.
Yeah, there's
He
a
has,
lot
like-
of different headpieces that work for him.
Yeah, I think the only windmill slams that everyone's on is the gloves. Like everyone's like, all right, cool, we're all playing that glove. I've seen like,
Ice Cliffs.
yeah, I've seen some Millennium Tree, the bark skin. I've seen some of that. I've seen Tunic. Tunic is like 80-90% of it because it's Tunic. We just talked about it. I've seen some like Crust aggro, but I don't really like that deck. Where like you're blocking with the new Tectonic Crust thing, and Earth card now to get the extra surge, and now you're playing like Mulch and all the other 8 costs that normally you didn't have access to. That's just like 2-card 8s. So you're like, and it's a chess piece that you don't mind blocking with super early, as opposed to like Millennium Tree, where you kind of had to wait a little bit to turn it online. But
I've seen
Yeah,
the
go ahead.
multiple headpieces too, though. Like you see.
the headpiece,
Yeah, you
that's
see
gonna keep me
Cornet-
up at night.
Cornet Peak seems okay. It's a 2-block. The one that
Yeah.
comes in the deck, I think, is actually fine. I've been
Yeah.
stuffed by that headpiece, the frostbite that I can give.
It
It's been
it
pretty
plus
disruptive.
Stalagmite is a double frostbite on demand.
Yep.
And that is
Yeah.
good. Yeah, that's a good thing to be doing. Crown of Providence is a classic. Like,
Right.
sure, you can probably just run that too. But Cornet Peak, if you're playing the pick as like your main card, like your main weapon, it lets you have a 1-card hand because otherwise you don't have one in the deck. And yeah, like that's a good thing to be doing.
You know which headpiece I wish I could play? Crown of Seeds.
Yeah.
You know, I was just thinking about that. How
Dude,
Dude,
it'd be so
we were having a
good.
conversation about
horrible
it.
would that card be if it was still
No.
in Classic constructed right now?
You could play Crown of Seeds right now; it would make no impact on the meta, like on his meta position.
It
I'm not
would-
talking about just Jarl. There are other Earth heroes in
Oh
Classic
yeah.
constructed.
Oh boy, I would love to play Crown of Seeds with Florian.
Yeah, that would help him. Florian.
yeah, dude, that helped Florian
That's-
out
that's
a
the
lot.
scary one.
That would be wild for Florian.
Actually, probably be good in Verdance too, right? Because it makes her
some
pitch
cases,
stack
yeah.
more consistent.
Yep.
He just
Yeah.
turbos to it a little faster.
Yep.
Gross.
Crown of Seeds, so good.
I miss it.
It's a good
Thank
card.
goodness
That's
it's
one of the
gone.
fun
Hard.
parts about playing Living Legends, being able to interact with Crown of Seeds again.
It's like everyone's like, wait, Crown of Seeds does what? And you're like, yeah, I know.
Dude,
It
every
blocks
3
for
turns
zero.
when your tunic counter's up, it just says basically draw a card. It's wild.
Yeah, I heard you wanted to have a power spike this turn. Nope. Miss it. Good card. It did nothing
Don't
wrong.
miss it at all.
But yeah, so
But
I don't know. But yeah, but you're all sick. I like him. I
Yes.
like what he does.
Speaking of the tournament they top 8'd, that was Battle Hard in Geneva, right?
Yeah, Geneva. That was this past weekend.
It was 2 Aurora, a Viscerai, a Levia, a Zen, Enigma, and a Nu with him in top 8. And I think Enigma ended up taking that down.
Viscerai did.
Viscerai ended up taking it down, actually. Nice.
Yes.
yes.
Yeah. Yeah. The Viscerai finals was Viscerai v Zen, I want to say.
Yes. the
And this
Zen
Viscerai was on. Sorry, go ahead.
I think the Zen was actually magic
Yeah.
player. Simon Nielsen,
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
big name magic.
Yep.
So
Um,
that is a tough
Yeah.
matchup for Viscerai.
It is, but this guy was playing the like super hyper aggro version of it,
Hmm.
which actually blocks better than the other version. And so the second they you see them put Zen State on the table, you just block, 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 and then you go back to punching their face in.
Oh, is this the lovingly called Pissarai deck?
Yes. Yeah, it's Piss Rye. It plays 3 to 6 blues, and it plays like 18 yellows.
Yeah, it runs a lot of yellows. They have
Yeah,
they have one higher number. You're not pitching anyway. Like,
yeah, like I just want more Rune Flashes and Rune Rager Swarms and Amplifies. So I'm just going to play the yellow ones instead of the blue ones.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. So, yeah, it's a
Good for
Visceral
Viscerai.
deck. It's yeah, good for Viscerai. Good deck. I like that there's 2 versions of Viscerai floating around as well because it's interesting. There's the Rune Chanty buildy one, and there's the Pisserai hit you in the face deck. I love them both.
there's like 2 or 3 versions in Living Legend as well. Like they all run Scalata,
Yeah.
but like I call the super aggro-y belittle madness one. I call that the full idiot Michael Hamilton list because Michael Hamilton played it, and it's just you're just like all your cards are going into your opponent's face. You don't run reduce the rune chant. You don't run sync blows. You don't run read the runes. You don't care about building rune chants at all. Numbers face. That's the full idiot
Wild.
Viscerai deck. It is a fun deck to play.
It's wild. Wild.
Dude,
wild,
it's
wild
crazy.
Stuff.
It's crazy how often you break Scalata just to play Belittle for free.
No, I can see that.
You just break Scalata, Belittle for free, get a Minnoism. It's
Yeah.
a
We have so
zero
many good-
cost 6 go again.
God,
That
you have
makes
so
no
many go
sense.
again attacks now that are actually good. You could just crack that thing for like 5, just pick up 2. Oh, okay, yeah, I gotta play this deck at some point.
Nine Rune Ranger Swarms.
Yeah. Okay, I gotta play this deck.
It's fun. It's a lot of fun. So yeah, let's talk about our new heroes and then we'll get into the skirmish results. Because we already have skirmish results from last weekend, but the new heroes, I think that popped in on the week we skipped because of Thanksgiving. But we finally know what Syndra and Fang are both going to be doing hero power wise. We don't know exactly what their playstyle is going to precisely be, but we do know what their hero powers say. Syndra first, whenever you hit a marked hero, create a fealty token, and a once per turn instant, pay 3, equip up to 2 draconic daggers from your graveyard. This costs 1 less to activate for each draconic chain link you control. So people who said she's going to be recurring her daggers, they are absolutely right. She will be.
Okay. I have a question for the listeners and also for you guys, and I want people to let me know. Am I the only one that waited around for the hero reveal, and as soon as we saw it, my very first thought was, that is lame.
I thought that with Fang, but I thought Syndra's was cool.
Neither one of these heroes look interesting to me at all.
I could see it.
Listen, I'm not buying this set because this is my flavor. Like Rosetta was 6,000% my flavor, and so like I'm in on that. But both of these heroes, I think, are really cool in different directions.
I mean, maybe I'm just in a minority. I mean, that's okay,
No, and
right?
that's fine.
I just
And that's fine.
they
Like,
look lame to me. They
well, we also
are
have
cool, but
They
the
look
powers.
problematic. We were thinking that like Draconic was going to kind of like start to push Enigma out of the meta, maybe because you're going to go so wide. You're going to do the things that bust all the illusions, and then you look at both heroes, and they both rely on hitting their opponent.
Yeah.
So
They have a
if
lot
the
of things
dominant
that are
way,
gonna.
but if the dominant way to make fealty tokens in these heroes is their hero text, they're going to struggle to make those in some matchups.
Go ahead, you first, Noah.
I was gonna say I think there's enough tools to in the actual classes though, like warrior specific or assassin specific outside of draconic to kind of make them hit. Like I feel like them being weapon centric. I think that there's a lot of recursion and already multi hitting as well as just weird buffs that are gonna make it really easy and also cheap to sneak hits in with flick knives, with recursion, with the warrior pretty much getting free swings on daggers that you're going to swing multiple times. Like the thing is it's also free, because if you're hitting with weapons and you're not really using cards, you're essentially going to be fatiguing that the other opponent has to block. I mean, if all your damage is coming from weapons,
Enigma's gonna play Restless Coalescence, and you're just gonna go, I guess I lose now.
Meow. But
And cats come out, and all the shields pop out, and all your little ones and breakpoints don't do anything anymore. And you go, oh, I'm gonna do this Jagged Edge, except that your opponent knows you're trying the Jagged Edge because you saved one resource and one card in arsenal.
yeah.
There's just some issues.
I was thinking they're problematic in the other direction because both those text boxes are really strong. But I think I love that they have that marked line specifically on them, because that means they are gated by the power level of this set, which means they're really easy to throttle up and down, right?
yeah, I like that.
Yeah, like we're getting an older card pool. People are worried, why would I run the Syndra over Fi or whatever? And it's because Fi has a larger card pool than Syndra does out of the jump. And that is a distinguishing factor between the two, because he only cares about Draconic cards. You're going to have to run for the Emperor, for the Drakai, all those kind of cards to get your fealty tokens probably, but those text boxes are so strong, right? Like, just create a fealty token is good. Syndra isn't doing anything with them yet, but like, who knows? Maybe she's just going to make a bunch of them and they pop off and let her do something crazy.
Okay, let's talk about the fealty tokens. Let's remind me and everybody else, what does a fealty token do?
That's true. Yeah, you go ahead and explain it.
Yeah, it's just a token that sits on the board, and you can pop it, and once you pop it, it makes your next thing Draconic.
Any card, not just attacks.
Yeah, so it could be your... does it specifically call it action card? Nope, next card. Okay, so you could go Art of War, and now your Art of War is a Draconic card, if you really wanted to.
You can't, because it's classic constructor.
Well, yeah, but like if you're playing like Living Legend Syndrome or something, right? Like, or you go like pop your fealty, play Ancestral Harmony, right? That's probably a better example, right? Like now you already have a Draconic thing going on, or you wanted to sideboard in one of the 15 billion weapons that warriors have, right? And you can make your Hot Streak. That's the one, or Centauri Saber. Now you can make that Draconic.
No, I think it says play.
Oh, does it say card?
Yeah, but it would be like...
It's card, you're right.
Yeah,
so it doesn't count the weapons.
It could be like make one of your attack reactions Draconic, right? So
yeah, yeah. So if you want to do like, what's the good one? Blade Flurry. That one. There you go. Yep. Now you can make that Draconic.
You can make Blade Flurry Draconic. Yep. You can make Iron Song Response Draconic.
Yeah. So it does. It just makes things Draconic, which is good. Like I think that's a cool idea. It makes everything, because now these heroes really care about Draconic chain links, and the only way to run tech in those decks now is to have this fealty mechanic.
So it looks like Syndra's loop is going to be try to get 3 Draconic chain links up, throw your daggers, equip them back, be really sad when a Mystic Hero Passover is one of them. And then Fang, I think it sounds really powerful, but I think it sounds powerful in the same way you read Dory's text box and then her weapon and you think, man, that's crazy. And then when you actually play Dory and someone just says, here's my equipment, and then you lose all your counters. Same thing. The Fang can build up this engine where he's just running really hot, and then you go, okay, I'm going to take a break, just completely block him out, make him use all his fealty tokens, or I disrupted him, now he can't generate one or play a Draconic card this turn, and he just loses his whole engine.
Yeah, the big thing is disrupting him, I think. Like, his late game is the part that kind of scares me, but like his mid game, once he gets online, and then like he's doing the thing where he's able to keep 1 to 2 card hands and just like keep playing the Draconic card to keep making his daggers free, like that's going to be scary. That's going to be real good. But I think anything that says free on it always intrigues me. And recurring daggers like that out of the graveyard, it's like what the assassin stuff has been trying to do for a while, but on a hero, and that seems cool. I like both of them.
Yeah, this reads a lot like Kasai's hero power, except that like once you've got the engine rolling, you're not having to like have a gold to keep it going.
Right.
You can
it's a much lower effort engine.
I think we've read Fang's heroes tech.
Yeah. Just in case we missed it, it's just like he has the first phrase that Syndra does, whenever you hit a marked hero, create a fealty token. Then he says, if you control 3 or more fealty tokens, dagger attacks cost 1 less to activate. That makes you think that we're probably getting, in my opinion, a non-draconic 1-cost dagger that has go again. That's my guess. I think if it's a 2-cost dagger, it's not going to be great.
Suck.
And if if the dagger is draconic by default, it's probably too strong.
Who knows? I'm excited.
We'll see.
It's going to be interesting. I do like how the marked is kind of a keyword you get to play around, because some of the cards specifically state that you got to hit a marked hero. Some just say that you have to attack it. And so there's kind of a in order to get the marked away from you have to take damage. So in some cases, taking the hit removes the mark, and you don't want to be marked because then the effects activate. So you're gonna have to kind of play around the I'm marked. Do I really want to take this hit, lose my mark status? Or if they throw cards like the Four of the Realm and all those, then they just need to attack a marked target and they get the fealty whether it hits or not. So, you're like, well, I'm marked, but nothing's going to hit me. And then there's some cards that don't care whether they hit or not. They just care whether they attack a marked target. So I feel like that's a good way of kind of interacting with the buff / debuff. You can't just ignore it outright and say, I'll just block it all. Because there's still going to be ways to generate the fealty even without connecting hits.
I think it's going to create a really cool push and pull limited as well.
Yes.
Some
The
good
limited
sounds
in this
looking
set's going to be
Limited's gonna be great.
fantastic. With the marked cards, like specifically marked
good.
towards
Yeah,
heroes.
a marked hero named Syndra. I like that that's there. The card is completely garbage outside of the scope of limited.
Right.
But
as long as is Arachne going to be in one of the limited pools as a young
Dude,
hero?
Oh,
Do we
yeah,
know
I
that
am
yet?
so scared
Sure.
I'm so scared of this draft format, and I hope they do something interesting with it. Because we did this shape with Uprising, and it was one of the worst draft experiences I've ever seen.
well, okay.
Uprising had Icelander
you
in
look
it,
at
though, right?
Dromai and you look at how
It
hard
wasn't
it was to get any dragons, like in a set of 24 packs, right? That's already weird. And then it's like clearly Fi is going to be the best hero to play in general. And then
But you're thinking like it was just an awful experience through and through every time. Maybe it was because also the time period that we were playing, like everybody sucked at draft at that point. But I've ended up at tables that were 4 Icelander, 4 Fi. I've ended up at tables that were 4 Dromai, 4 Fi. I've ended up at a table that was 6 Fi, 2 Icelander. It's some genuinely miserable draft shapes. And it was not fun. I didn't enjoy that format at all.
I don't
I
think we'll have a
think-
problem with that here.
I
I'm
think this will
hoping
be
not,
fine.
but I am very
There's-
scared of one bucket over here, and then the other 2/3 over here caring about the same cards. Because if you get put into that one bucket, or you start in that one bucket, and then you realize you're not supposed to be there, and you're supposed to be in the other one, that's a tough jump.
Right, you're talking about if you committed early to the assassin bucket and you realize
Yeah, like
that
say you-
assassin's taken, you should be in one of the draconics.
Yeah, and then you realize, oh wait, I gotta jump over, and now those jumps were really, really tough.
Well, maybe they'll have some warrior assassin cards and ninja
Yeah,
assassin
hybrid-
cards, kind of like outsiders.
Hopefully we get some hybrids.
There's going to
that's
be
the answer now.
hybrids for sure.
Hopefully.
I would only assume there's going to be hybrids. How they choose to split them is beyond me, but I know what you're saying, because it is like 2 heroes kind of talk to each other in that class, talent, draconic, and the other one kind of just wants assassin cards. And I mean, we'll take draconic, but there's really no benefit that we know of. I mean, Arachne, what's he going to do with draconic
Especially if
cards?
there being such a premium on draconic chain links. If you have assassin in front of you and you realize that you're draconic too late, that might be a problem. But we'll see. This is all speculation. I am
I
just
would say,
worried.
man, yeah, that's a good point with ninja, because your hero power, you want to hit the 3 draconic chain links.
Yeah,
The warrior doesn't care as much. He just wants the fealty token.
He just wants the fealties.
Yeah, he just
It's
wants to get
interesting.
free. So I am very scared.
We'll have
But
to
we'll
It's
see.
gonna be interesting.
As
Yeah.
it fleshes out, as we see more of the commons, this is a very common and rare dependent limited. I think if the commons and
Yes.
rares come out really well and they fill in the blanks, I think we're gonna have a good limited set.
Yes.
You know, We still don't know what Chaos does.
Yeah, I was about to say, when was the date on that countdown to chaos? That's next
I
week?
don't know.
I believe
but-
that's in 2 weeks. Next week.
The
but-
18th? Isn't it the 18th?
I
2 weeks.
want that Arachne so bad I can't even begin to tell you.
Crackney
Like,
is so. I love that his name is Crackney. And
Crackney.
that makes me laugh every time.
Crackney. That's good. I want to like it. Oh yeah.
December
had a
17th
thought.
is when the countdown ends.
Okay, we're speculating that there's probably going to be hybrid cards in the set. What if Chaos allows him to play any hybrid cards?
He might be able to.
I don't know.
I mean, look.
I'm not a game designer,
Oh.
but I am.
I'm not
So
either.
so you're just like any card that's split, a chaos hero can play
Anything
it.
with multiple personalities, Arachne can play.
Does one of the text boxes at least have to pertain to him? So it would have to be an assassin ninja or assassin
Well, then
warrior.
he can play
Like,
it. Like, what-
No, there's,
Oh,
so he
yeah,
can
then
play
he can play
agile
it.
wind up, is what we're saying.
Oh man, but that'd be weird. Because then he's like a pseudo shapeshifter,
Chaotic,
but
right?
not really.
that would be pretty chaotic. I don't know why we'd want to put agile wind up in an Arachne deck, but I want to
Dude,
do
that,
it
that
anyway.
is a 7, and it says go again. Okay, like
Okay,
Saying that would be neat.
I don't know.
We'll find
That
out.
would
we'll
be
find
neat.
out soon. That is approximately a little over 2 weeks away.
I'm excited though. The set might have a little price bump, but I want those marvels, man.
I just want more assassin spoilers. Just show me the stuff I actually care
I mean-
about. Please.
You got
We
Tarantula
get to-
Toxin. That
Dude,
card's
I am-
nutty.
And just
Tarantula
And ju-
Toxin. Oh,
and just to
man.
remind
I am
people, we
so-
get
Wait
the
to get
we
that
get the
card.
big boy cards first this
That
time,
card's
right?
so
We get the
gross.
I am
Majestics
so
top
scared
end.
of this set.
I'm
Like, I'm
not.
terrified
Jarl's
of
here.
this set.
He'll save us.
Jarl's
no,
not
not
gonna
because
save
of
you
that.
from this
Because
set.
like, could you imagine if New gets another stealth card?
Oh, we're and there will be stealth cards. We're all screwed. We're screwed.
100% that is happening. There is 100% she is getting more
News-
stealth cards.
News
And-
already annoying.
They can
Oh,
block them
no,
off
she's
pretty
not.
easily.
Yes, she
wonderful.
is. Every
She-
time
she
I
is
play
the
against the
best girl.
News
No.
Azalea, it's just like, oh man, here we go again. And I gotta like side in extra cards so you can just rip them off the top of my deck because it's gonna happen. I bring in the Battlefront Bastions just to block daggers and let you take them off the top. Like I hate it. I'm just like, well,
Hell yeah.
here we go again.
And so
well-
don't be overly confident because we did just have a Earth Lightning set without a single fusion card. So keywords don't always get large representations in the sets you
Hey,
think
Warrior-
they would.
Warrior needs some help.
Okay.
We have already
Tarantula Toxin
seen.
literally says card with stealth. We
Yeah,
already know
there's
stealth is
some.
coming.
Well, we already
And
see a couple stealth cards that are going to be like
Yeah.
marked focus.
Okay, but also the young Arachne that we've seen is solitary confinement, isn't it?
It is.
The first stealth card. No?
It's
Am I wrong?
Crackney. It's the solitary confinement text box, except it applies to both heroes.
That's
Well,
the
I know
older Arachne.
the adult is, but we saw the young version, right? In the Blitz products, the one that's got the blank hero that we don't know about yet.
You
Oh, is
might
that
be
completely
right.
solitary
Am I crazy?
confinement?
I'll have to double check. I cannot.
Yeah.
No,
confirm
I-
or
I don't
verify.
Maybe I'm wrong about that.
I don't think you're crazy. I think I remember. I think I know what you're talking about. We are waiting
In
for
a
that.
rerun of solitary confinement, maybe I'm wrong. I want to look that up now. Hold on.
Let's well, while you're looking that up, let's go ahead and hop over to Skirmish because we have two completely separate sides of the Skirmish season to talk about. We'll start off with Blitz, and who do you think came out on top on Blitz? I think this is actually a pretty surprising stat.
I think I know it, so I'm not gonna say, but I think I remember this.
It was Aurora followed very
Yeah.
closely by KO. Actually, find that very surprising.
Wait, which KO?
the playable one,
Stop that. Which?
the new one.
Okay.
Yeah. Not Berserker one.
Man, come on. Where's
Right
the
there.
dice rolling
But
berserker
however,
runs?
the bad KO did pick up like 2 wins, 3 wins, I think.
I
Four.
gotta
He
stop
picked
memeing
up
about
4.
this. I gotta stop memeing about this and bring the
Okay.
full on
So
dice roll.
if we're just talking about KO in general, he actually picked up the most wins at 14. If you combine the two.
Good job.
Good job,
KO.
Good job, KO.
Okay.
I'm actually really surprised Aurora picked up.
Yeah, where's
that many
Zen in
wins.
there? Where's Blaze?
So our order is Aurora 11, KO at 10, Blaze at 8, Victor at 8, Zen at 8, Data Doll at 7, Levia at 7, Arachne Solitary Confinement at 6, and then it
Wow.
drops
That's why I can't
off
find it
from
somewhere.
there.
Those
May have made that up.
those are fun.
The dominant meta is what I would assume, right? Brutes are really good right now. So Leviah and KO are quite strong.
Yeah.
Blaze is the only wizard, so wizard rep is going to push her in, and she can just steal games sometimes. Her hero power is decent. I'm mostly just surprised by Aurora. I guess, ripping a Flicker Wisp Arc Lightning off the top is pretty good when you start at 20 life.
Well, it's also like when your numbers dot deck, and if your first hand presents 16, like,
Yep.
Yeah,
and
like,
you have a ridiculous armor
well.
sweep. Yeah, it's like, oops, sorry.
I guess I'll shove all my armor and present 16
Yeah,
and
you can, yeah.
yeah.
I'm
You can
surprised
block with
Data Doll doesn't
Grasp.
have more wins. I wonder if she's underrepresented. That deck feels broken to me
Probably.
whenever I was playing
that
it.
deck is a problem.
Okay, it's Mandela effect. I didn't actually see Arachne Solitary Confinement on the Young Hero stuff. There's 2 blank deck boxes, not 1.
Yes.
So I am incorrect. I am completely and totally wrong about
we
that.
don't-
It
yeah.
may not. You guys may be right.
I don't know. I just know we have 6 Arachnes, but we don't know what they are and how they work.
Yeah.
So
I think interestingly
Yes.
enough, what's really cool about the Blitz season so far is 27 heroes have picked up wins.
I can see that in Blitz.
Yep. Even though it was dominated by a handful, there was still 27 wins.
Did
27
Dory
hero
pick up a
wins.
win?
Dorinthia picked up 2 wins.
Nice.
Dorinthia picked up 2 wins. New got a win. Prism got a win. Riptide, Shiana, Emperor, Yoji, Betsy, Bolton, Bravo, Dromai picked up a win. Terra got one. Kasai, Lexi, like almost every hero in the Blitz format had a win.
Is
Lexi.
Blitz actually balanced right now?
It's so crazy that Lexi's in Blitz. Like, I just forget about it all the time.
Dude,
I don't
yeah,
hear
'cause
that.
you just
name.
roll up
Voltaire.
and then suddenly you're just eating
Yeah,
a bunch
you-
of ice arrows. Like,
You can play Voltaire. It's crazy. Well, how is that not more? It's just a life pool. Like,
Yeah.
I guess if you roll
You have
hot,
no
you roll
armor.
hot, and
Yeah,
you have no armor. Yeah.
And it's like, oh, oops. Well, they have armor. I don't.
yeah, the KO goes, turn 1, Blood Rush Fellow, and they go, ooh.
Yeah, it's like,
That's what
oh,
happens.
20. You deal 20 true damage to me. This is not good.
You look at your hand and go, if I can keep this, and they go Blood Rush Bells, and you go, guess I'm losing the game, and you just shove all 4 cards in front of it.
You lose your
take
double
damage,
arsenal.
then
You lose your double arsenal because you have
Yeah.
to block with your headpiece to not die.
Yep.
Oh,
Yep.
good stuff.
All right, Living Legend has the meta as I basically predicted.
Well predicted. Well
Did you?
predicted. He did.
I don't know if I did it on stream, but I said that Starvo was going to come back in a strong way when Starstruck was unbanned. I don't know if I
Oh,
said
that part,
it.
sure.
Yeah.
I think I
Starstruck.
remember because that was on stream when we talked about it.
Did you
I'll
talk
give you
about
the
a
points
specific
for it.
wizard in that prediction?
I did not talk about a specific wizard in that prediction because I think we knew his Open the Floodgates got banned, and I said he's not that good anymore.
Kano sucks. Don't bring Spell Void. Whatever you do, don't bring Spell
Okay.
Void this weekend.
Kano
Don't bring
is-
any Spell Void in Chicago.
Kano is
Don't bring Spell
always
Void.
as good as he has always been before they released Rosetta. So he's still good. But Starvo picked up 9 wins, Zen picked up 8, Viscerai picked up 5, and then it drops off from there with just a bunch of 3s. There's less Living Legend tournaments, but there's quite a bit of representation on heroes that picked up wins.
Did he get any real pickup? Well, Destructive Aether Tide technically popped the bubble, I guess. Overflow. Overflow is the only real pickup. Overflow Gaze
Those are
and
just
Will
zaps.
Arcana. No, but like Overflow is a real big one.
Yeah.
Like that one can't be understated. Will of Arcana is pretty good, and Floodgates is good. So you got 5 new cards that are bangers.
Yeah, they banned Open the Floodgates, rightfully so, before the Skirmish season started. I don't know if I talked about this on our last podcast, but we were just sitting in
It's disgusting.
Discord, and Ed Knight said, I want to learn Kanos just so I understand him in Living Legend. And then he proceeded to Goldfish like 12 games in a row of turn 0 kills at like dealing 70 damage. So if you didn't roll up with AB3, and even sometimes with some of the hands, AB3, you just die through AB3 as well. Like,
I'm sad I didn't get to play it.
but it is interesting that there was not a single not a single Kano win this last weekend.
Yeah,
Not one.
Kano sucks. Don't bring your Spell Void.
That's
Cut it.
right. It's all
Get rid
over,
of it.
guys.
Cut the
Get
calling.
rid of it.
You don't need
Pack-
it.
Pack the AB away
Just-
in the spell
yeah,
void.
just
You'll
put it
be
away.
okay.
You just need AB1 for those
Yeah,
Rune
just
Blades, because this ride
AB1.
got some wins. Like, yeah, just, you don't need it anymore.
What's the
Get it
most
outta here.
interesting win that I see on here?
How much are you getting
Dromai
paid?
picked up a win. That's pretty wild.
It's,
An Azalea picked up a win.
Zelia picked
An
up
LL?
Yeah,
What?
Azalea picked up a win in LL. New picked up a win in LL.
Thomas was
I
talking
was-
about this.
I was like, technically, Noah, you could take Azalea to a Living Legend tournament and win it, because as long as you don't drop the ball at any point, you're playing the same game that you do in CC. Like, it doesn't change, like, really at all.
Yeah.
And in fact, Azalea is a little bit better in Living Legend in some ways, because you can only run one Warmonger's Diplomacy in Living Legend.
Nope.
So you,
That's
so you
fair.
just show up and flip the red in the ledger on the right matchups and go, that's 16 plus on hits.
And it's like Starvo. It's you basically just kind of look at each other like, all right, who hits who? Is it my turn or is it their turn?
Taro
Yeah,
is
join
really
Azalea.
good now.
Oh, Somersault's so good.
I was about to say Starstruck
Somersault
plus
is
Somersault
stupid.
is such a
That's-
crazy interaction.
When you guys told me, I just don't look at Starvo, and you told me he could play somersault, I was just like, that's the most wild thing I've ever heard in my life. Not only am I going to block with these two cards, I'm going to somersault them, and I'm going to play them
So
on my
It's
turn.
so egregious. You have Somersault and Arsenal, right? You have the Casino plus Starstruck in your hand. You could block with an attack plus Starstruck to block for 6. Somersault them back to your hand. Make the Seismic Surge token. And then you could Casino, play the Starstruck, and have enough to swing Hammer. Like, it's so
It's
dumb that
gross.
you can Starstruck and Hammer on the same turn.
Yeah, or just like you're converting your dumb lightning cards that you never wanted anyways into actual attacks. And
That
it's
too.
so gross.
It
Yeah,
like
it.
ooh man, you're like, oh man, I only have to get hit by one Okinold per game. Joke's on you. I can
get it back.
somersault Okinold back to my hand.
I actually have 7 Oakenolds.
and not only that, like, he can just keep the pulse in his hand, so that he's very likely to casino you with it the next turn too. Like,
Yep, and he's going to draw another somersault because they play 6 of them.
yep, you
And
play.
it's the goofy meme where he'll
I
do
think
it
I've
again.
seen 9, but I think that's a little
Dude,
overboard.
I've been trying to get our local Starvos to play 9, but they won't. And it makes me sad because I think 9 somersaults is really funny. and
It
they should
is
do
really funny, but I think it's kind of bad. The red ones aren't so good.
You'll brick on 9, but you have Crown of Seeds, so who cares?
And speaking of Living Legend skirmishes, we have one in our locals this weekend. We had a local one this past weekend I wasn't able to go to, but I'm pretty sure I'm going to go to this one. So you're going to bring Azalea to a Living Legend tournament, Noah?
Sure. I mean, I like Azalea. I think I'm gonna have some downsided matchups, like where I just could have a better deck, I guess. I don't know, because I think there's some just like you can't win matchups, but I mean, I'll bring it. If we ever think that there's gonna be a Jarl, oh, there's ice though. Like I might have to modify the blue count. I don't know. I don't know if I'm blue heavy enough for.
I don't think anyone's
I
gonna
don't
be
think
playing
you're worried
Jarl
about
in Living
Jarl.
Legend.
It's you got old
That's,
him.
well, I
and-
was gonna say there's old him, right?
Yeah, I missed that text box, and more importantly, I miss Endless Winter.
Like-
that card fuck.
God, dude, I don't even. Old him made me physically ill because I just played Dory, so it was just a physically just upsetting, unfun match. Even when I had like good times, it was still really unfun. Azalea doesn't make me want to play against old him anymore because I've watched people grind that matchup down and it's just awful. Like
Brother,
it-
do you want to play against Blessed Old Him?
no, I don't.
Oh,
That was
so
the
bad.
crown in the minute. Are you kidding me? Free block from the hero, free block from the crown,
That's
and you're
okay.
gaining life, and you're gaining block with the shield every turn. What does dominate when you're playing with 3?
I watch you play,
Oh.
Noah. You'll never lose to a CYB old him because y'all will just draw.
Good, good. I do take a while to think these turns out, so good.
That's
I'm
fine.
glad.
fine.
I'm glad.
I'll be at the 004 table. It's fine.
I'll be at the 004 all draws. Hey, how was your Living Legends? Oops, all draws. It was really weird.
You know, another notable win in the Living Legend format was there was a new win as well.
I think she's good.
So, Donnie, you could maybe bring new to the Living Legend tournament this weekend.
I don't know. I didn't even know that there was one. I have done absolutely no kind of prep work for it whatsoever, and I've probably got a
Is
project
it?
I gotta do.
Is it on Saturday,
That's fair,
Sunday,
that's fair.
Monday?
Yeah, it's Saturday.
Saturday?
Saturday.
We'll see.
We'll me
See,
and Kevin
makes
got a
sense.
date on
Sirens.
Saturday.
You Sirens call Starvo's blue, and now they can't crayon you, and they're sad.
Actually,
good
man,
that you
Siren's
did.
Call
That
is
sounds
really
confusing.
good in the Starvo. Holy
Yes.
crap. Like,
Yes, yeah, Sirens call is like a really big deal.
I didn't even think about that. That's crazy. Also,
Yeah.
your hero power is pretty strong in the Starvo sometimes.
Yep.
Some of those blues are pretty spicy, including you could emag your cards back to your hand and hit them with them again.
They run a bunch of blue fives because of all the earth cards. You can CLF them back. They're, like the ice pool is now much better than it used to be. Yeah, it's good. Like it's
Yeah.
actually good. And then we
Turns
know
out
how
Mystics
new-
are really strong.
Yeah, and then
Yeah,
new
go
versus
figure.
Zen is still just new versus Zen. Like that's your top two decks, and then you're playing against Viscerai, and if they're on the Belittle version, they're an aggro deck. Just kill them. We've seen that before. And then if they're on the like build a bunch of rune chants, have disruption every turn, and you'll win.
Good luck.
Yeah,
We're trying to
that's
sell
the
you
one
on,
that scares
on
me.
it. I'd like to see you pick up. You don't technically get LL points, but I think that would be
Yeah.
pretty good notoriety for Our Lady New if you picked up a Living Legend skirmish with her, right?
I would
And-
love to.
And
Let me see what I got going on.
Kano sucks, so you don't have to worry about that matchup.
Sure.
So wins all around.
where's
I see
it
those
gonna
issues.
be?
That's it, John
John's
Street.
What location?
John Street
John's
location.
John's Creek, yeah. It's the only reason I'm even thinking about going.
What time does it start? Like I said, I got a prior thing with. I haven't been out there and seen everybody.
I think
and
it
can
starts at a
help that.
reasonable time, so around
Yeah.
11 or 12. It's not like a crazy late one. I think the
It'll also
showcase
probably
one
be
this
really
past weekend started at 3.
And it finished at 5:30.
Oh wow.
What?
They all played aggro decks. Every round was less than 30 minutes.
Oh,
there you go.
Well,
That's
maybe we
sweet.
got time. Maybe we could go, and I'll just bring Kevin and
I'm
Till, and we'll
thinking
just
about it.
leave
If it's
here
gonna be that
from
quick.
the card shop and go run errands, and I'll drop them off at home.
All
Okay,
right.
maybe. I'll see if he wants to go. We'll see.
Anything else for this week?
My first game for the league that means nothing is going to be recorded this Friday, and I
you playing
may
against?
want to tap your shoulder, Thomas, try to help me figure out how to record the webcam game. But first one is going to be this Friday. I don't know what my opponent is playing yet. I do know who it is, and we have set up a time. We're going to be playing this Friday.
Okay.
Now, are you playing on, is it Talishar or is it webcam and paper?
Webcam paper.
Okay.
I actually really like that.
Real
I'll
old school
send
vibes,
you
I love
some
it.
suggestions.
Oh,
on,
I love that.
I always like a phone better because the phone cameras have really good resolution for that kind of thing. Like almost
And they don't do the zoom focus crap that the other cameras do. It's just like a little phone stand right on.
Yep.
Yeah, that would make sense. But yeah, that's what I got going on Friday. And like I said, I'll have to look at what my schoolwork looks like, whether or not I can come on Saturday.
Nope, just normal Flesh and Blood stuff for me this week. Though I might skip Armory because Path of Exile 2 is coming out, and book 5 of Stormlight Archives. So I think even if I'm not feeling like playing video games, or the Path of Exile servers are down, because of course they will be,
They will be.
I'll probably
Just
be
read
wanting
the
to
book
read that
while
book.
you're waiting.
just read the book while you're in queue.
I'm gonna read that book. Dude, I might go get a physical
wait.
copy just to have it, like here. And if I'm sitting at my desk, I'll read, and then when I'm driving, I'll listen. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to get a physical copy anyway, but I've listened to all of the other ones, and like I said before we started recording, I may have to re-download Audible just to listen to
the
Wind and Tree.
delicious voices
Shout out
of
Michael
Michael Kramer and Kate Redding.
Kate
Ugh.
Redding.
They're very good.
Yes.
They're very, very good.
And dude, the worst thing is we're going to talk about books. This is a card game podcast, but man, the book 5 is going to end,
Books
and
are
then
made
it's
out
going
of
to be done
cardboard.
for like 2 or 3 years. I'm going to be in tatters, guys. That week I might not be able to record. I'll just be sad.
We'll
That's
figure it
okay.
out.
Everybody
Sorry, we'll figure it
needs a
out.
day.
I'll just play Jarl while you're gone, and then we'll just go to
Yeah,
time.
no
every
spoilers,
round.
by the way. Do
Yeah, I do.
spoilers will make me
Yeah.
crazy.
I think that's what I
Agreed.
think I'm gonna say. Like, I'm not going to discuss it in any open channels until like January.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I normally don't care about spoilers for things. Like, I will read reviews on animes. I'm the kind of person that will skip to the last page of a book and read that. Nothing for Wind and Truth. I don't want
So-
anything for Wind and Truth.
Deep cut for people who they've probably tuned out of the pod. It's fine. Apparently, there was a bookstore in an airport in Boston, Baltimore. That's where it was. Okay, it's one of the B's that they put the books on the shelves 2 weeks early, and someone sent a picture out of it, right? That it happened, and legitimately people were booking flights to go get the book.
Yep.
From that store.
Wow.
Yes.
I'd be willing to bet we've got a lot of listeners that are also Brandon Sanderson.
And
absolutely.
it
Like,
wouldn't even
Crossbeard.
surprise me if someone pops in the
Not
comments
even
and be
a
like, "I bought that plane ticket."
Yeah. Yeah. So, anyways,
All right.
let's get out of here.
Yeah, wrap it up.
Yep. All right. Thanks for joining us. Oh wait, what am I doing? No. Let's get to the.
Yeah,
Where can we find everybody?
shout-outs.
Noah,
Oh yeah.
where can everybody find you, buddy?
So, you can find me at Big Max Fab on Twitter, at Big Max on Blue Sky, twitch.tv/Big Max, which I have been streaming recently. Majority of it's been gambling, but I'm gonna switch it so I can play Azalea while I gamble. It's really fun. I sit here, I play about 8 games of Talishar, I let the money just roll. And Justin was like, "Why can't I see the Talishar if you're playing?" The other Justin, that one, Kana. And so I beat him like 4 times in a row because Kano's just in a wonky spot. And I beat properly. But I'm trying to get this like slots plus Talishar feel. It's really fun because I gamble on Azalea a lot. I just blind flip because I'm like, odds are great here. And I just hit the button. They're good gambles. If I brick, I just Codex of Frailty. Like, I'm not crazy. It's a good gamble. If I hit the dominate, it's dominate. If I don't, it's a pump plus frailty. There's still an arrow coming. But good stuff. You'll find me there. I'm still opening up packs. And then we're going to do some big hunted stuff. I'm definitely going to open up those on stream on the podcast channel for sure. I think hunted's going to be a great set to open. I'm probably going to get quite a few cases of it.
It's probably going to be a good time.
Yeah.
Justin, what about you, buddy?
Jevs05 on Blue Sky. That's what it's called now. That one.
Yeah.
And same thing for Discord.
Cool. Thomas?
At Wet the System on Discord, at Wet the System Fab on Twitter, Wet the System on Blue Sky. Yeah, you could find me. It's a very unique name.
Yeah. Same thing for Draco Hominis 87 everywhere social media is sold. I just had my most recent article published on Card Gamer. It's a budget deck guide to Betsy. Because I like Betsy. I mean, I like throwing big bonking attacks every now and then. And you guys remember when Heavy Hitters came out? I was kind of into Betsy. I like her flavor. I like flavor. So if you're interested in a Betsy budget list for under $100, go give it a look. Might give you some ideas and not a good place to get started. We got anything else, gentlemen?
I'm done.
We're good.
I love opening packs of cards. Including Pokemon now, too. They suckered me in it. I hate it. You think I could spend money on anything else, but new Pokemon cards look so cool. I can't get away from it.
Fair enough. I mean, fun is fun. All right. Well, thanks for joining us, everybody. We hope you had a good time listening. If you want to reach out to us or something, hit us up on Discord, Twitter, Blue
Leave a
Skies,
comment.
whatever. Yeah, definitely leave comments.
Leave comments, yeah.
Tell us what you want to see.
Yes, that would be very, very helpful. And I've completely lost the script, so I'm going to look it up real quick. Don't look at me.
Don't worry about it. I
Look
got
somewhere
something
else.
coming for the end of it.
Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for joining us, everybody. We hope you enjoyed catching up with us this week. And if you did, subscribe or follow depending on where you found us to catch us again next time. Until then, take care of yourselves and remember, we are all siblings in cardboard.
And you know what you got to do? There's a new sheriff in town. His name's Jarl. He's got a pummel. You got to take those cards and you got to put them in the grave. Trust me, you have to. There's going to be a lot of
Joke
pummels.
will never die.
No, there won't. And Plow Under and DT, you guys know the rest. Do your things. Read the cards.